that.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj. Tonight I will be giving you a authentic Capper comparison pick for the prelims for UFC Fight Night. Edgar versus Munhoz. Pedro Munhoz. But anyway, I'm just gonna. This is the if you've never seen my show before, this is where I take my prelims. They're not really okay. They're more of a capper comparison pick show is where I take my favorite sports handicappers depending on the sport, and I place them on the side that they're picking. Okay. However, this show, because it's the prelims, there's a couple repeat handicappers, but I always try to introduce a few new ones that I've never used before. Now, to become a handicapper that I show on my capper comparison pick show, I've got to have seen your show. You have to have your picks in relatively sooner than most so I can use them for my show. And I gotta watch the show and I gotta approve, I gotta think that you know what you're talking about. I'm not just gonna put some chump up here that throws a coin flip and does boom. Oh, Rodriguez. I like to see the people back up what their choices are. Even if I don't agree with them, that's great. As long as they got a little backup for their choice, for their pick, a little reasoning of why they picked that pick. So, let's get to this. Now what happens here, I'm going through the prelims on my main card for this event, for the UFC Fight Night at the Apex Center, blah, blah. For the main card, I have my stable of main handicappers that I use week by week by week. The only way you can get into the main card is if one of them doesn't have their picks in on time, then I'll swap them out for somebody off the prelim card like I did today. You'll see. But anyway, on the prelims, like I said, I use some repeat people that I've used before because I like their breakdowns, I like their pick breakdowns, their prediction shows. And I like to introduce one or two new guys just so you, the subscribers or viewers, if you will, can comment and either promote or get them off the show. You can be like, that guy, I don't like him, he's garbage, take him off, don't do him again, or whatever. Or you can promote somebody, be like, man, I like what so-and-so said, I hope you keep using him, or if you are the capper I'm using, go ahead and butter me up on the comments, and the more activity I see from you, the more I'll probably use you. Because to be honest with you, I use some cappers that aren't as good as others that I don't use, but because they're active in my chat and in the whole community feel of the capper comparison show, I use them more often than some others that, for example, I don't like to throw names around, but we'll say I'm not taking anything against I'm not putting Mo Screams or Mr. Arkansas. I'm sure his picks are great. You know what? He doesn't get him in on time for me to use, so I don't use him. That's just an example. But if somebody gets their picks on time and they're active in the chat, I will continue to use them, like I did with MMA Outsider. There's a perfect example. His first time I used him was last week, and I used him again in this show because he's active. He's active in the chat. He talks to me. Okay? So, anyway, here we go. Let's get enough of my rambling. I am rambling a little bit tonight. It's one of those nights, if you know what I mean. But we're going to start here and work our way up to, this isn't even a prelim fight. It's on the main card, but I top off the prelim card, the prelim fight video with the lowest of the main card fights. Just how I've been doing it. And okay, so this is in this fight, this is where I introduce the handicappers that I'm using for this show. And if there's any, like, you want to know more about these handicappers, their channels there'll be a link in the description going right to where I got this information from. So if you question, like, oh, did he really say that? Yeah, he really did say that. If you doubt me, go in the description, his link, and boom, it'll show whomever the capper is saying what he's got to say. Okay, so here we go. We have Ike Villanueva going against Jorge Gonzalez, otherwise George Gonzalez, but like MMA guru from the British guru, that is. He likes to say Jorge, and nobody says it like that except for him, but he's a unique character, that dude. Okay, speaking of Jorge Gonzalez, let's see who's taking him. We have eBay's Fight Predictions. He's been on the show before. I think he's a great handicapper. I love his breakdowns. He tells his true opinion. eBay's Fight Prediction. I'm just from now on, I'm just gonna write him as eBay's. Okay. Also, I just mentioned him. MMA Outsider. This guy, he does his breakdowns off his bed, which is fine. Whatever, that's cool. But I like him because the kid knows what he's talking about. All his breakdowns, he backs, and they're great. Like he doesn't do the time check with the full card, but he does the full card, but he does it in separate videos per fight. For example, this fight, Villanueva guys, it's like a video with like a minute and something, a minute 40 seconds or something. And he did the breakdown for this fight specifically. I like that. And plus he does seem to know what he's talking about. He looks at their past fights, he watches their footage, and that's why I keep using him. Keep up the good work, MMA Outsider. I like your stuff. Okay. Also taking Jorge Gonzalez is, I'd like to say he's a good friend of mine. He's a UFC celebrities and what is it? Classics. Celebrities and classics. But from now on, I'm just gonna call him C&C. His name is Vlad. He's Bulgarian, but he lives in Serbia. He also does these videos with like fight instruction and cryotherapy, where he goes in some local river and it's freezing. But he didn't plunge underneath, and then he got it waist high. Well, and I asked him, I do watch-alongs with Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classic, because there's only like maybe, I don't know, a dozen people in there. So it's actually, he communicates with me, and you know, anyway, I like to watch the fights with Vlad from UFC C&C, Classic, Celebrities and Classics. And I was busting, I'm like, how come you can't go under? He's like, oh, well, the water is so cold and rushing so fast, it's so hard to go under. God bless you, Vlad. God bless you. I like you. Okay. Also, taking Jorge Gonzalez, we have MMA Guru. That's right. He dropped down. I used him last week on my main card. Sometimes I do. But, yeah, I dropped him down to the prelims. I mean, he's alright. You know why I dropped him down to prelims? No communication. He doesn't even acknowledge. I'll put my thing on his link in the description. I'll go to his site, put the link to this thing on there. He doesn't give me a thumbs up, a like, or not, a no, not a nothing. He won't even. Maybe it's because I'm busting on his knit hat. He must be either bald or have a ginger afro, because he never takes off this knit hat ever since day one. Same gray knit hat with a black stripe, like gray knit hat with black trim. Dude, just change your hat. That's all I'm asking. I don't know. Put on a blue one or black one with a gray stripe. Something. Just come on, man. Or keep your hat on and just comment on my videos, or say thank you. That's all. That's all. Just little recognition's all I'm asking for. MMA guru, the British guru. He's British. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, we have a new guy. This kid, his name is Scrap, or his channel is Scrap or Tap. I like him. I watched all his prelim fight picks. And once again, he's like outsider. He seems to know what he's talking about. Like, he doesn't make this crap up. He got legit stats backing up his opinions. That's all I'm asking for. And his picks were out. Today it's only Tuesday. So these are way ahead of time, which I love. That's how you make my show, is by getting your picks out early. Okay, so this ends up being a full capper consensus. This is where I do a dance. I stole this dance from Perlo Wisdom. He is a hockey handicapper, but I like it. It reminds me of those things you see at the used car lots. Ooh, the fan people that like the, but this is a dance that he made. The Perlo dance. Throwing pearls at ya. But anyway, every time I get the capper consensus, I do that dance. A capper consensus is when all the handicappers that I chose pick the same side. It's not a sure thing. I've seen the capper consensus get, especially in UFC, but it's kind of you can say it's a safe bet. Okay, so in this situation, let me find a marker that'll stand out. Pink works. I'm going with the capper consensus, and I'm taking Jorge Gonzalez, even though eBay's took him reluctantly too, because he's a dirty fighter. That's what eBay said. I remember eBay said but a lot of these other guys, MMA Guru said he's not taking Villanueva because he's a fat effer. So, Celebrities and Classics, my boy Vlad, he said Gonzalez seems to have a better cardio that'll outlast Villanueva. And I'm going to tell you personally, double-digit losses, I'm not a fan of that. Villanueva is 16-10, his record. Jorge Gonzalez, 16-4. He's got a better record. According to all the cappers, he's in better shape physically. I gotta take Gonzalez. I'm gonna take him. None of these guys picked how he's gonna win or anything. I'm gonna take him by within the distance. How's that? Within distance. Okay. So there you have that. Gonzalez within distance. Moving on. Next, we have Austin Hubbard. He's got a fight. He's got like a nickname like Thad or something. Thud. Yeah, I think it's Thud. Austin Thud Hubbard taking on Joe Solecki. Austin Hubbard comes into this fight with a record of 12 wins, 4 losses. He is the underdog at plus 117, taking on Joe Solecki. Joe Solecki, 9-2 as a professional fighter. He's the favorite at minus 137. The over-under on the rounds is 2.5. This is a 3-round fight, of course. So if you think it's going to go the distance, which the odds makers do because it's at a minus 275. Think it's gonna happen? Not go with the distance. You get a nice payout at plus 215. Okay. Okay, let's see. Taking Austin Hubbard, the underdog. Oh, by the way, Villanueva, everybody went against him. He's the favorite, by the way. Note that. The favorite, Villanueva. But like MMA Guru said, a little too fat for me to pick. I'm one to talk. But anyway, Villanueva, I guess, is not as good a shape as Gonzalez. But we're past that fight. Now, Austin Hubbard, Joe Solecki. Taking Austin Hubbard, we have eBay's fight predictions. eBay's taking Josh Hubbard. And also MMA Guru, the British one. Not to be confused with MMA Prediction Guru, who I am using for my main card. He's one of my main card dudes. The main card dudes, it's hard to take their spots because they've been with me since the beginning of. I've got more than 100 capper comparison shows. I've been using those same guys since I started doing UFC. So, with sometimes you don't get one that does their picks in time. UFC gambling addicts, Leighton. Sorry, bud, you didn't get your picks in time. He's fine though. He doesn't matter. He likes my show regardless if he's on it or not. God bless you, Leighton. You're my man, bro. But like for example, Leighton didn't make I did the show, started doing the show today. I'm not gonna air it till tomorrow. So if you get your picks in tonight, I'll use them tomorrow. But if not, I have a replacement already filled in. Okay. That's the only cappers taking Austin Hubbard. Taking Joe Solecki, the favorite. We've got outsider, MMA outsider. He's taking him. Let's see. Vlad from CNC from Celebrities and Classics. And you know what's good about Vlad? He also interviews like coaches. I haven't seen him interview many. Occasionally he'll interview a fighter, but it's usually coaches. Which you know why? Because I think Vlad, I know he's a ref for soccer from somewhere because he went on a little soccer ref training vacation type thing. But I want to say he himself, I know he's a black belt in Taekwondo too, but I want to say he's some sort of a coach because he's giving these little lessons where he does the 1-2 punch and the punch combo, and he does like these little drills. Yeah, Vlad, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics. And finally, the new guy, Scrapper Tap. Scrap, I'm just going to put Scrap, but it's Scrap or Tap is the full. Like I said, all these guys will be in the description. Their links to their videos will be in the description. Scrap or Tap is actually saying by decision. I love that too when they say how it's going to happen. God bless you, Scrap or Tap. Especially if you're going to take the favorite. If you're going to take the favorite, try to tell how it's going to happen. At least say within distance or anything, something like to that effect. Okay? So there you have the handicappers. I'm going with the capper minority. I'm taking Austin Hubbard for the upset. Just so you guys know, I am a plus money junkie. So plus 117. I have a tendency to go for the underdog. I don't always, I use my head, but this one, I got a feeling Hubbard can do it. And plus he is plus money, where Solecki is not. Okay, how is he gonna do it? Oh, yeah. You know what? I guess because of the odds makers, I'm gonna have to say decision. Let me get the pink. decision. Austrian Hubbard by decision. Next, moving on. Time check. We have girl fight. Amanda Lemos versus Mizuki Inoue. Amanda Lemos, I think it's Lemos. I see I wrote that in yellow, Lemos, but the O doesn't really show up that very good. Lemos, like lemon. I don't know if it's Lemos or Lemos. We're just gonna say Lemos. I think that's what it is. Amanda Lemos, I think she's a Brazilian. She comes in with a record of 7 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. She's the underdog at plus 120, not that bad of an underdog. She's taking on Mizuki Inoue. Inoue has a record of 14-5 as a professional fighter. She's the favorite at minus 115. Okay, let's get right into this. Taking Mizuki Inoue, we have eBay's. As you can tell, I watched my boy eBay's first. That's why he's at the top of every one. So I watched his picks first. So we have eBay's taking Inoue. Then we have MMA Outsider taking Mizuki Inoue. We have Vlad from Celebrities and Classics. He's taking Inoue. Oh, as he said, I leave my favorite to Inoue. Or what's he say? He says like, I give Inoue the edge. That's what he says. Says it like that. The new guy, Scrap or Tap, is taking Inoue. And finally, the British MMA guru is taking Inoue, making this another full capper consensus. Bonk, bonk. Full capper consensus. Everybody's taking Mizuki Inoue to beat Amanda Lemos. Huh? Yeah, I have to go with the consensus. I mean, it's a girl fight, so it's really, girl fights are just hard to predict. I mean, virtually every fight could go either way, but this one, I mean, girl fights, people don't even like to bet them. I do, I bet them all. Especially if they're on the board, I bet them. But I'm taking Inoue. I'm going to take her by decision. Actually, I'm just going to take her to win, but I think it's going to go to decision. So, and she is a favorite, so because she's a favorite, I'll write how. By decision. If it's an underdog, you don't really have to, I don't really say how, or if it's even plus money, but I did here with a distance. Here, decision. And here, decision. So, moving on. Finally, the first match of the main card. We have Daniel Rodriguez coming in with a record of 12 wins and only 1 loss as a professional fighter. He's taking on Takashi Sato. Comes in with a record of 16 wins and 3 losses as a professional. Now Sato is the underdog at plus 165, where Daniel Rodriguez is a favorite at minus 190. These odds are all from Bovada. Or no, I'm sorry. Where are they from? Okay. These bets are all from, or these odds are all from Bet Online AG. Just to show you. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. Just I'm not making them up. Anyway, these odds are from Bet Online AG. 2.5, of course, 3-round fight. If you think it's going to go over that, it's even number, plus 100. I think it's going to stop short of the distance. minus 130, so you're paying a little juice on that. Okay, now, taking Daniel Rodriguez, we have eBay's fight predictions. And then we also have Vladimir from CNC. And then we have the new guy, Scrap or Tap. Scrap or Tap is saying TKO. Good on ya. Thank you for giving me how it's going to happen. I love that. And finally, the British Guru is taking Daniel Rodriguez. One guy's taking Takashi Sato. If you can't figure out who, I'll tell you who. It is MMA Outsider. I like MMA Outsider, and that's why I am also taking Takashi Sato. MMA Outsider, you talked me into it. He does have a mean ground and pound. I think it was MMA Outsider said it. Or it could have been one of these. It might have been Vlad. And Vlad speaks well of both fighters, but at the end he makes his lean or his choice. And Vlad doesn't bet, so he doesn't even care about these numbers. He doesn't care about the odds. He looks at the fighter, he doesn't gamble, and he tells who he thinks is going to win the fight. Vlad is taking Daniel Rodriguez. However, I'm taking Takashi Sato. Only because one of these guys, I don't know, I get them confused. I think it was the Outsider, was saying Takashi Sato, his ground and pound is phenom. Maybe it was Vlad. It was one of them. But one of them said, if it goes past the first round, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember it. Like I said, there's so many. I watched so many dang shows, so many handicappers. There were 2 handicappers I watched today would have wasted time because they didn't know what they're talking about. So I'm not going to use them on my show. That's how it goes. But Scrap or Tap, you made the cut, buddy. You made the cut. So anyway, I'm taking Takashi Sato against the majority of cappers. I've done it before, and I've came out on top, and I've came out not winning. You know, nobody's perfect with this. If they were, it wouldn't be gambling. We'd just be a know-it-all, and we'd be loaded from it. I think it's gonna. I want to say it's gonna go within distance, a little ground and pound. I think it's gonna be a stoppage within distance. That's just, that's my take on it. That's my story, sticking to it. So to recap, time check. I've got Jorge Gonzalez with the full capper consensus. I'm agreeing with them. I got him winning within the distance against Fatty Ike Villanueva. You know what's funny? Where is he? Vlad Ike. He was calling him Ike. His name's Ike. Vlad. His name's Ike, not Ike. Ike Villanueva. I'll take the cardio of Gonzalez over Fat Ike Villanueva. And then I've got Austin Hubbard winning by decision. This is going to be a close one because look at Solecki's got the capper majority, but I got Hubbard. This one, to be honest with you, I picked him because when I made my fantasy DraftKings, my lineup, I picked him to fit price-wise with 5 other people in my lineup. But turns out, he's the underdog. So be it. Come on, Austin Hubbard. I know you got it in you, buddy. And then I've got Mizuki Inoue. And I noticed all these handicappers mispronounced her last name. It's Inoue. 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 That U-E is a way sound. Inoue. Inoue. And I don't know that from her. I know that from other Inoues that used to MMA fight, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. Can't remember the first names now, but there's Inoues that have been fighting in MMA. They're dudes, and they're like brothers. So there's two of them. I can't think of it, but whatever. Mizuki Inoue. I'm joining all the Capper majority, Capper consensus pick, and taking Inoue by decision. And finally, to top off the prelim card, well, the first fight of the main card, I've got Takashi Sato. Once again, it's just me and MMA Outsider going against the grain, against all the cappers that I picked for this prelim show. I got Takashi Sato beating Daniel Rodriguez within the distance. I think it's going to happen by ground and pound, but I'm not going to bet that. I'm just going to bet within distance. So there you have it. Gather your info, place your bets, and cash those tickets. I'll be sure to put everybody's link in the description. I'll put timestamps in between all of these fights because I know I did a lot of rambling today. All I'm asking from you is to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. And good luck on these bets, man. Yeah. Good luck on these bets, and I will see you tomorrow with my main card show. See you next episode.